This is a demonstration of the Access Direction tool provided by Museums of History New South Wales for public offices covered by the State Records Act. It will show users how to access the online service portal, where to find the access directions your agency currently has registered with Museums of History New South Wales in accordance with Section 55 of the State Records Act, how to renew expiring closed to public access directions, how to revoke access directions which are no longer fit for purpose, and how to register new access directions. This is how you can access the service portal. It can be accessed via the Museums of History website here, and also via the State Records New South Wales website here. Once you've logged in, the tool can be accessed via the Access Direction button. When you click on it, you will see the options to explore, renew, or create new access directions using these buttons. The Access Direction Explorer enables you to view all of the access directions that your agency has registered currently and any earlier revoked access directions. You can sort the access directions by clicking on the top of the columns, such as by its status. You can also search for terms if you have a long list of directions to check, and they're using this box here. You can check the details of an access direction by clicking on its number. The older access directions will show users basic details like which agency is controlling the access direction, the scope of the access direction, if it is early or open or closed, and the period for which it is closed. In this example, it's 100 years from date of birth, or the period in which the early action would commence, such as immediately. The details page also shows when the access direction was originally submitted and calculates when the access direction is due for renewal. Only closed to public access directions need to be renewed to remain current. This renewal is required every 5 years. The system will send an email alert 1 month before the access direction is due to expire. Here. No renewal is required for open or early access directions. Newly created access directions will also include additional details of which agency registered the access direction, the contact who registered it, and the person who authorised the registration. You can renew an access direction by clicking on the Renew button. Only closed to public access directions need to be renewed, and you will receive an error message if you attempt to renew an open to public access direction or an early access notification. These do not need to be renewed to remain current. You will see with this renewed one, the status has changed to pending registration and the renewed date has been updated. It's also updated the future renewal date and the review due date. You can also revoke an access direction by clicking on the Revoke button. There is a warning that revoking a closed public access direction will result in the records being open to the public by default. You can revoke any access direction. You must submit a reason for why you are revoking the access direction. You will receive notification that this has been revoked successfully. And again, the status date will be updated to revoked and a date will be populated here with the date that it was revoked. The Renew Access Directions tab is a filter that shows you which closed to public access directions need to be renewed to remain current. Only closed to public access directions will appear in this tab, and they can be renewed for here as well as from the previous screen. You can check the details of a registered access direction by clicking on the number. And again, you will be able to click on the Renew button from this page as well. Lastly, you can create new access directions. This is where you can register any new access directions for your agency. You can use our suite of standardised access directions, or you can create a customised one specific to the functions of your agency. To create a customised access direction, click on the box here and then next. You can submit a description of the records to be covered by this access direction. The information symbols provide advice. I'm going to enter a scope here. Select the type of access direction. I'm going to select a closed one, and the duration and reason bottom boxes will appear for you to populate. I'm going to suggest it's closed for 90 years and that the information was provided under an expectation of confidentiality. Were the records covered by a previous access direction? If you select yes, a list of your previous access directions will appear. If you select one of these, they will be revoked and replaced by this new access direction. In this instance, I will select no and enter next. You will need to enter the authorising officer's name. This is the person within your organisation who has the delegation to approve this access direction. The current contacts listed for your organisation will appear and can be selected. If your authorising officer's name does not appear, you can click and add a new one. The authorising officer will be created as a contact in the system for your organisation. They will not be required to action this or will receive any emails. We're just capturing the details for information. A submission successful notice appears. To use our suite of standardised access directions, you simply need to select if you are from local government or from another public office. The available categories will appear when you click on this box. Select Next. You will see that the fields have been automatically populated with our suggested scope, duration, and reason for closing these records. You can still edit any of these. They are a suggestion only. You will still need to advise if this is a new direction or one that had previous coverage. Again, you select the authorising officer. You will see that the name created previously now appears as an option. So Fatima has appeared. And then hit next and the submission successful notice appears. You will always also notice that these new pending access directions will appear on your Explorer tab. Here. If you have any questions or difficulties with renewing, revoking, or registering new access directions, please contact the Agency Services team at Museums of History New South Wales via transfer@mhnsw.au.